The rain-slicked streets of Manhattan gleamed under the sodium glow of street lamps as Nicholas Hale sprinted through the downpour, his heart pounding like a war drum. A single gunshot cracked the night behind him, echoing off the towering glass facades of Wall Street's ghosts, and he dove into an alley, breath ragged, knowing one wrong turn meant the end. But it wasn't fear that fueled him. It was the fire of a promise whispered in a hospital bed 2 years ago. Save this city, Nicky. Don't let them turn it into their playground. Nicholas pressed his back against the cold brick, water streaming down his face, mixing with the sweat of desperation. At 25, he was just a community organizer from Brooklyn, the kind of guy who rallied neighbors over coffee and clipboards, not dodged bullets from corporate hitmen. His dark curls plastered to his forehead, green eyes scanning the shadows. The bullet hadn't been meant for him, not directly. It was a warning shot from Justin Blackwood's private security, the billionaire CEO whose empire was devouring the soul of New York one rezoned block at a time. Justin's face flashed in Nicholas's mind, not the polished magazine cover version with the chiseled jaw and piercing blue eyes, but the one from their single, electric encounter 6 months ago at a gala fundraiser. Nicholas had crashed it, badge and all, to confront the man behind the evictions. "You're killing us," he'd spat, voice trembling with rage. Justin had turned, that half-smile playing on his lips like he owned the air itself. "Killing? No, darling. I'm reinventing." Their eyes locked, and for a split second, the room faded. The spark was undeniable, a dangerous pull that Nicholas had buried under layers of activism ever since. Now, as sirens wailed in the distance, Nicholas's phone buzzed in his pocket. He yanked it out, screen cracked but glowing. A text from his sister, "Mia, they're coming for the warehouse tonight. Get out." The warehouse, the last holdout in the Lower East Side, a haven for artists, immigrants, and dreamers that Justin's Sterling Developments planned to bulldoze for luxury condos. Nicholas's fingers flew across the keys. "On my way. Hold the line." He bolted from the alley, legs burning, the city a blur of neon and neglect. By the time he reached the chain-link fence surrounding the warehouse, the air hummed with tension. Protesters chanted under flickering floodlights, their signs dripping wet, "Hands off our home," and Blackwood steel souls. Nicholas slipped through the crowd, his hoodie soaked, nodding to familiar faces, old Mrs. Rivera from the bodega, young Jamal with his spray cans of defiance. Mia spotted him first, her braids tied back, eyes fierce. "Nicky, you okay? Heard about the shot." "Yeah," he lied, pulling her into a quick hug. "Just a love tap from the 1%. She punched his arm, half-smile masking worry. Mia was the steel in his spine, the one who dragged him to those first town halls after their dad died in a construction collapse. Irony's cruel joke on a union carpenter. "Cops are 10 minutes out," she warned. Blackwood's goons already circling. Nicholas climbed the rickety fire escape to the roof, where a few diehards kept vigil. The city sprawled below like a glittering beast, the Hudson River a dark vein pulsing with freighters. He lit a cigarette, the flame flickering in the wind, and exhaled smoke that tasted like regret. Why did Justin haunt him like this? The man was a villain straight out of a tabloid, 42, heir to a real estate dynasty, divorced twice, rumored to bed models and moguls alike. But Nicholas had seen the crack in the armor that night at the gala, when Justin's hand lingered a beat too long on his elbow, voice dropping low. "Fight me all you want, but you feel it too. A roar of engines shattered the reverie. Black SUVs screeched to a halt below, men in black tactical gear spilling out like ants from a hill. Nicholas's stomach dropped. This wasn't a standard eviction. It was a raid. "Mia!" he yelled down. But the megaphone blared first, a voice amplified and emotionless. "This is Sterling Security. Vacate the premises immediately." Chaos erupted. Protesters surged against the fence, linking arms, while security forces advanced with batons and zip ties. Nicholas vaulted down the escape, landing hard, and plunged into the fray. He grabbed a sign from a fallen woman, thrusting it like a shield. "We won't go!" A baton glanced off his shoulder, pain blooming white-hot, but he pushed forward, locking eyes with a guard whose face was all shadows. Then, amid the shouts and scuffles, a figure emerged from the lead SUV, tall, impeccably suited despite the rain, umbrella in hand like some Victorian overlord. Justin Blackwood. Their gazes met across the melee, and time stuttered. Justin's expression was unreadable, jaw set, but his eyes, those damn blue eyes, held a flicker of something raw. Hesitation or calculation. "Stand down," Justin called to his men, voice cutting through the din like a blade. The guards paused, batons lowering fractionally. Nicholas froze, chest heaving. "What the hell is this, Blackwood? Your idea of negotiation?" Justin stepped closer, rain beating on his overcoat, the umbrella forgotten as water darkened his blonde hair. Close, he smelled of expensive cologne and ozone, power incarnate. "Mr. Hale," he said, the name rolling off his tongue like a caress wrapped in velvet. "I could ask you the same. Crashing my operations now? That's below even your standards." Nicholas laughed, bitter and sharp. "Your operations? This is people's lives, families, histories, gone for your penthouse playgrounds." The crowd murmured, emboldened, but Justin didn't flinch. He tilted his head, studying Nicholas with an intensity that made the younger man's skin prickle. "Everything has a price," Justin replied softly, "just for him. Including redemption." Before Nicholas could retort, a guard yanked at Mia's arm. Instinct surged, Nicholas lunged, shoving the man back. Fists flew, a baton cracked against his ribs, and he hit the ground, vision swimming. Through the haze, he saw Justin bark an order. "Enough! Pull back." The security retreated, engines revving into the night, leaving the warehouse intact for now. Nicholas coughed, tasting copper, as Mia helped him up. "You okay?" she whispered. He nodded, eyes locked on the departing taillights. Justin had paused at the SUV door, glancing back one last time. That look, it wasn't triumph. It was a question. And damn if Nicholas didn't want to answer it. As the adrenaline ebbed, Nicholas found himself alone on the warehouse steps, the rain a relentless whisper. He pulled out his phone, thumb hovering over Justin's contact, snagged from a leaked donor list months ago. "Why did you stop them?" he typed, then deleted. Instead, he pocketed it and headed home, the city's pulse syncing with his own fractured heartbeat. Brooklyn welcomed him with its familiar grit, brownstones sagging under fire escapes, delis glowing like beacons. His apartment was a third-floor walk-up in Bed-Stuy, walls plastered with protest flyers and photos of their dad, grinning in steel-toed boots. Mia crashed on his couch most nights, her own place too close to the eviction line. Tonight, She patched his bruises with ice and sarcasm. Hero of the hour. Huh? Blackwood looked at you like you were the last slice of pizza in hell. Nicholas winced as she pressed the pack to his side. Shut up. He's just playing games. But his mind replayed the moment, the way Justin's voice softened, the unspoken current between them. Gay in New York was easy on paper, apps, bars, pride parades. But for Nicholas, it was always secondary to the fight. Love was a luxury he couldn't afford, not when the city bled. Sleep came fitful, dreams tangled with rain and blue eyes. Morning brought a knock at dawn, too early for Mia's alarm. Nicholas shuffled to the door in boxers, peering through the peephole. A courier, envelope in hand. He signed, tore it open. A single cardstock invite, embossed gold. Mr. Nicholas Hale, you are cordially invited to a private dinner with Justin Blackwood. 8 p.m. The Pinnacle. Discussion of mutual interests. No RSVP needed. Arrogant bastard. Mia snorted over coffee. Mutual interests? Like how to screw him over. But her eyes sparkled with mischief. Go. Intel's intel. Nicholas burned the invite in the sink, watching flames lick the edges. Yet by evening, he was in a borrowed button-down, crisp white against his olive skin, standing outside the Pinnacle, Midtown's crown jewel of a rooftop restaurant. Valets eyed his scuffed boots, but the hostess led him straight to a private booth overlooking the skyline. Justin rose as he approached, glass of scotch in hand, tie loosened like an afterthought. You came. It wasn't a question, more a revelation. Nicholas slid into the seat, chin lifted. Curiosity killed the cat. What's your angle, Blackwood? Buy me off with steak. Justin chuckled, low and genuine, signaling the waiter. Wagyu, actually. And no angles. Just conversation. The food arrived, seared perfection. Wine that tasted like summer vineyards, but words danced around the edges. Justin probed. Nicholas's roots in the Bronx. The warehouse's history as a jazz club in the 70s. Nicholas parried with accusations. Evictions spiking homelessness. Sterling's lobbying to gut rent control. You're passionate, Justin said finally, leaning forward, the city lights casting shadows on his face. It's intoxicating. His fingers brushed Nicholas's on the table. Accidental? Intentional? Electricity crackled, and Nicholas pulled back, heart slamming. Don't, he warned, voice rough. This isn't a date, isn't it? Justin's eyes darkened, vulnerable for the first time. I've built an empire on control, Nicholas. But you make me want to lose it. The confession hung, heavy as the humid air. Nicholas stood abruptly, chair scraping. Save the poetry. Fix the city, or stay the hell away. He stormed out, elevator descent mirroring his spiraling thoughts. But as the doors opened to the lobby, his phone buzzed, then teach me how. Weeks blurred into a tense standoff, the city holding its breath between Nicholas's rallies and Justin's boardroom maneuvers. Nicholas threw himself into the fight, organizing blockades and petitions, his days a whirlwind of megaphones and midnight strategy sessions. Mia became his shadow, her sketches of protest art plastered across social media, turning Save Our Soul into a viral storm. But nights were harder. Justin's text lingered like a ghost, unanswered, stirring dreams where strong hands pinned him against rain-washed walls, whispers of surrender mingling with chants of resistance. One crisp October afternoon, Nicholas led a march from Union Square to City Hall, 500 strong, banners flapping like rebel flags. No justice, no peace, they roared, feet stomping in unison on the leaf-strewn pavement. He stood on a milk crate, voice amplified. Justin Blackwood thinks he owns New York, our homes, our histories, but we are the heartbeat. We won't let him carve us out like a tumor. Cheers erupted, but as the crowd surged, a phalanx of counter-protesters appeared, suited types with sterling logos on clipboards, chanting progress over poverty. Nicholas's blood boiled. Planted agitators, no doubt. He waded in, separating a scuffle, when a hand clamped his shoulder, firm, familiar. Easy, Justin murmured, close enough that his breath warmed Nicholas's ear. Dressed down in a cashmere sweater and jeans that hugged his frame, he looked almost human. They're not mine, but I can call them off. Nicholas whirled, shoving him back a step. You show up now? After ghosting your own threats. The crowd parted around them, sensing drama. Phones lifted, capturing the showdown. Justin's jaw tightened, but his voice stayed low. I pulled the raid. Delayed the zoning vote. Give me a chance to. A chance? Nicholas laughed. Hollow. Like the chance you gave the Vasquezes when you evicted them for a parking garage? He stepped closer, voice dropping to a hiss. I saw their kids crying on the sidewalk. That's your legacy. Pain flickered in Justin's eyes. Real, unguarded. I was 20 when my father did the same to me. Threw me out for being me. The admission slipped out, raw as an open wound. Nicholas faltered, the pieces clicking, the rumors of a conservative dynasty, Justin's meticulously private life. Before he could respond, a bottle sailed from the counter-protesters, shattering at their feet. Glass sprayed, and chaos reignited fists, shouts, sirens. Justin grabbed Nicholas's arm, yanking him toward a side street. Come on, they ran, ducking into a coffee shop's alley, breaths sinking in the sudden quiet. Nicholas wrenched free, chest heaving. Why tell me that? Pity play? No. Justin leaned against the wall, rain from an earlier shower still dampening his hair. Truth. I clawed my way up from nothing, well, from a Park Avenue nothing. Dad's empire was built on bones like yours. I swore I'd do better, but, he trailed off, eyes tracing Nicholas's face. You make me remember why. The air thickened, charged. Nicholas's pulse thrummed, drawn inexorably closer. Then prove it, he challenged, but his voice cracked, betraying the pull. Justin's hand cupped his jaw, thumb brushing stubble. Let me. Their lips met, fierce, hungry, tasting of coffee and conflict. Nicholas groaned, hands fisting Justin's sweater, the world narrowing to heat and heartbeat. It was wrong, reckless, but God, felt like coming home. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. This changes nothing, Nicholas whispered, even as his body screamed otherwise. Everything, Justin countered, stealing one more kiss before vanishing into the crowd. That night, Nicholas paced his apartment, Mia eyeing him over takeout lo mein. Spill. You look like you got hit by a truck. In a good way. He collapsed onto the couch, head in hands. It's Blackwood. We kissed. And now I don't know if I'm fighting him or falling for him. Mia set her chopsticks down, expression softening. Nikki, love's not a battlefield. But if he's real, make him earn it. The city's counting on you. Her words anchored him, but sleep brought visions of Justin's vulnerability. The crack in the tycoon's facade. Morning mail brought a package. Blueprints for the warehouse site. Redlined with Justin's notes. Affordable units. Green spaces. Community co-op. A sticky note, your move. Nicholas's rally the next day swelled to thousands. The Save Our Soul wave crashing against Sterling's gates. But whispers spread. Leaks from insiders claiming Justin was buckling under board pressure, his soft delays costing millions. Nicholas ignored them, focusing on the win, the vote postponed again. Yet doubt gnawed. Was this genuine, or a longer con? Their next meeting was inevitable, charged like a storm front. Justin texted coordinates. A forgotten pier in Red Hook, sunset gilding the warehouses in amber. Nicholas arrived wary, hands shoved in pockets, the East River lapping at pilings like secrets. Justin waited on a weathered bench, suit jacket off, sleeves rolled, casual armor. I rerouted funds, he said without preamble, handing over a tablet with financials. No evictions for 6 months. Build your case. Nicholas scrolled, numbers blurring into hope. Why? Board must be ripping you apart. They are. Justin stood, closing the distance. But you're worth the war. His kiss this time was slower, exploratory, tongues tracing apologies, hands mapping collarbones. Nicholas melted into it, the pier fading, only the salt wind and Justin's low moans. They tumbled onto the bench, clothes rumpling, urgency building. Justin's fingers deft on Nicholas's belt, whispering, "Let me show you." Pleasure crested sharp and sweet, bodies entwining under the dying light, cries swallowed by the tide. After, spent and tangled, Nicholas traced Justin's scars, faint lines from a boarding school accident, he murmured. Dad's belt. For bringing a boy home, the confession bound them tighter, vulnerability a bridge over the chasm. I get it, Nicholas said, voice thick. Hiding who you are in this city, it's like breathing smog. They dressed in silence, the spell lingering. But reality intruded, a call from Mia. Nikki, emergency town hall. Sterling's pushing a backdoor deal, eminent domain on the warehouse. Justin's face hardened. I didn't authorize. Save it. Nicholas pulled away, trust fracturing. Your world or mine? As he left, the pier felt like a grave for what might have been. The town hall was a powder keg, folding chairs crammed with furious residents, air thick with coffee and outrage. Nicholas took the mic, voice steady despite the ache. They think they can steal our homes with legalese. But we're New York. We fight dirty and smart. Applause thundered, but across the room, Justin slipped in late, expression stormy. He cornered Nicholas in the hallway after, grip bruising. The deal's not mine. Board overrode me, called an emergency session. Liar, Nicholas spat, though doubt flickered. You play both sides. Justin's eyes blazed. Believe what you want. But I'm in this for you. He kissed him then, desperate, against the cinder block wall, a claim and a plea. Nicholas resisted, then yielded, the fire reigniting. They parted breathless, but the seed of betrayal was sown. November's chill seeped into the bones of the city, frost etching patterns on tenement windows as Nicholas and Justin navigated their fragile détente. Stolen moments became addiction. Late-night drives in Justin's Bentley along the FDR, windows fogged with hurried touches, whispered confessions in anonymous hotel bars, where Justin admitted his first love, a college boy lost to overdose, fueling his ruthless climb. Nicholas shared fragments of his own, the drag shows in hidden Bushwick basements where he first kissed a man, the terror of coming out to a father who hugged him tighter instead of turning away. But the warehouse loomed like a guillotine. Petitions piled up, allies from queer collectives and environmental groups uniting under Nicholas's banner. Mia's murals bloomed across Brooklyn walls, vibrant depictions of intertwined hands shattering corporate chains, tagged with Love Save Souls. Justin funneled anonymous donations through shell accounts, buying time, but paranoia festered. Who's leaking to the press? Nicholas demanded one night, tangled in sheets at Justin's Tribeca loft, the skyline a constellation of compromise. Justin's fingers stilled on his hip. Not me, but the board. They're circling. His penthouse was a sterile palace, marble floors, abstract art screaming isolation. But in the dim glow, he looked breakable, blue eyes shadowed. Nicholas propped on an elbow, tracing the V of Justin's chest. Then fight them. For real, the words hung, a gauntlet thrown. Justin's laugh was wry. You think it's that easy? I built this to escape my father's ghost. Now it's my cage. Their lovemaking that night was tender, exploratory, Justin mapping Nicholas's body like a map to salvation, lips and tongue coaxing gasps that echoed off high ceilings. You're my redemption, he breathed against sweat-slick skin, and Nicholas believed him, if only for the hour. Dawn brought betrayal's first bite. Nicholas's phone lit with alerts, headlines screaming, Sterling CEO sells out, warehouse deal finalized. He bolted upright, heart plummeting. Justin stirred, brow furrowing. What? You tell me. Nicholas thrust the screen at him, voice venom. The article detailed a midnight board vote, Justin's signature authorizing eminent domain, couched in urban renewal bullshit. Justin's face drained of color. Impossible. I vetoed it. He snatched his laptop, fingers flying, then cursed, a rare crack in composure. Hacked. Or forged. But doubt poisoned the air. Nicholas dressed in silence, the loft's opulence mocking him. Was this the plan? He asked quietly, belt buckling like a sentence. Seduce the activist. Soften him up. Justin's hand shot out, gripping his wrist. No. God, no. Nicholas, please, save it for the shareholders. He wrenched free, storming into the elevator, tears hot on his cheeks. The descent felt eternal, each floor stripping away the nights they'd shared. The warehouse became ground zero. Nicholas rallied a human chain around it, queer kids from Stonewall vigils linking arms with Latino families, elders from the jazz era sharing stories over megaphones. This isn't just bricks, he shouted to the cameras, voice raw. It's us. And Blackwood? He's the knife. Social media exploded. Blackwood betrayed trending. Memes of Justin as a heartless puppeteer. Mia stood beside him, sign in hand, souls over skyscrapers. But privately, she worried. You loved him, didn't you? Nicholas scoffed, but his silence betrayed him. Love, reckless, city-sized love. Justin's counter came swift. A press conference at Sterling Tower, glass monolith piercing the clouds. Nicholas watched the livestream from a dive bar, nursing a beer, crowd jeering around him. Justin stood at the podium, tie straight as a blade, voice steady. Recent reports are inaccurate. Sterling commits to community input on all projects. The warehouse will be preserved. Gasps rippled through the bar. Nicholas's grip tightened on the bottle. Was it a ploy? Justin's eyes seemed to find the camera. Find him. I've learned that true progress isn't measured in square footage, but in the lives we uplift. To that end, I'm stepping down as CEO effective immediately. The bar fell silent, then erupted. Nicholas's phone buzzed. Mia. WTF? He's torching his empire. He slipped out, hailing a cab to Tribeca. The doorman waved him up, pity in his eyes. Justin answered shirtless, hair tousled, scotch in hand, a far cry from the boardroom god. You came. Nicholas pushed inside, door slamming. What the hell was that? Suicide. Justin's laugh bordered on manic. Necessary. The board forged my sign, old school dirty. I confronted them. They threatened exposure. My lifestyle. He set the glass down. Vulnerability raw. Out me. Ruin you as the lover who blinded me. So I quit. Walk away with nothing. Or fight and lose everything. Nicholas's anger fractured. You idiot. We could've. Could've what? Hidden forever. Justin closed the gap, hands framing his face. I choose you. The city. Their kiss was salt and fury. Bodies crashing together, a reclaiming. Clothes shed in a trail to the bedroom, where Justin surrendered fully, gasps turning to please. Love me like I'm broken. Nicholas did. Fierce and healing, thrusts deep with whispered truths. You're not broken. You're mine. But dawn's light revealed the cost. Justin's phone, a barrage of voicemails. Lawyers, ex-wives, vultures. They'll come for blood, he muttered, pulling Nicholas close. Let them. But Nicholas's resolve wavered. The fight wasn't over. The backlash hit like a nor'easter. Tabloids feasted. Billionaire's gay bombshell. Queer lover topples tycoon. Leaked photos from the pier. Grainy but damning. Nicholas's face burned online. Activists split. Some hailing him hero. Others decrying distraction from the cause. At the warehouse, tensions boiled. A rogue faction, fueled by rumors of Nicholas's affair, confronted him during a planning meeting. Sleeping with the enemy? That's how you save us. Spat a burly union guy, face red. Nicholas stood tall, voice even. I love him. And I'm still here. Question my heart, not my hustle. Mia backed him, but the fracture lingered. Justin, meanwhile, lawyered up, countersuing the board for fraud. Paparazzi swarmed his loft, forcing them underground, a safe house in the Catskills, borrowed from a sympathetic donor. There, amid pine-scented isolation, they rebuilt, hikes through autumn foliage, hands clasped, nights by the fire, Justin reading poetry, Whitman, of all things, voice husky with emotion. You're changing me, Justin confessed one evening, stars pricking the sky. I see the city now, not assets, but arteries. Pulsing with stories like ours. Nicholas kissed his temple. Then help me write the ending. Back in the city, the high tide of conflict crested. The board, cornered, accelerated demolition, bulldozers idling at dawn. Guards tripled. Nicholas's chain held, but cracks showed. Exhaustion. Infighting. Then, the ultimate knife twist. An anonymous tip to Nicholas's inbox. Emails from Justin's assistant. Dated pre-quit. Outlining a seduction strategy to neutralize the activist. Heart in throat, Nicholas drove to the loft. Justin answered, hopeful until he saw the printouts. Nicholas, that's forged. Nicholas's voice broke. Or your insurance policy? Justin scanned them, paling. My assistant loyal to the board. I fired her weeks ago, but the damage was done. Nicholas's trust shattered like the email's lies. You played me, he whispered, tears spilling. From the gala. All of it. No, Justin lunged, but Nicholas backed away. I swear. Swear on what? Your empire. The door clicked shut behind him, a finality echoing louder than any gunshot. December's grip tightened on New York. Snow blanketing the scars of division as Nicholas threw himself into the abyss of isolation. The warehouse chain swelled to a tent city, makeshift barricades of tarps and solidarity, campfires flickering against the cold. He slept in a sleeping bag amid chants and shared soup, Mia his constant, her presence a bulwark. But Justin's ghost haunted every shadow. The curve of his smile in the steam of coffee, the phantom brush of fingers on his neck. Protests escalated, marches clogging bridges, die-ins at Sterling Tower where activists painted hearts on the glass. Nicholas's face became icon. Fiery speeches looped on CNN. The heart of the resistance. Yet victory tasted ash. Without Justin, the fight felt hollow. A war against a man who'd cracked his armor. Christmas Eve brought a blizzard, winds howling like banshees. Nicholas huddled in the warehouse, fairy lights strung ironically over eviction notices. Mia pressed a mug of spiked cider into his hands. Merry whatever. You look like death warmed over. He managed a grin. Poetic. Heard from the front. Board's desperate. Offered concessions. But it's a trap. She squeezed his shoulder. And him. Nicholas stared into the flames. Radio silence. Good. Means I'm winning. But lies soured on his tongue. He'd glimpsed Justin in the crowds once. Incognito in a beanie. Blue eyes tracking him from afar, yearning. Unspoken. The high tide broke on New Year's Eve. With the board's lawsuit crumbling under Justin's evidence dumps, they lashed out. A midnight raid, heavier than before. Spotlights pierced the snow, helicopters thumping overhead. Disperse or face arrest, bullhorns blared. Nicholas rallied the chain. Voice hoarse. Hold, we're unbreakable. But numbers favored the enforcers, batons swinging, zip ties snapping. Mia went down fighting, dragged to a van. Nicholas lunged after, only to catch a riot shield to the chest. Air exploded from his lungs, world spinning. Through the melee, a figure charged Justin, coat flapping, shoving guards aside with reckless fury. Back off. This is my property now. I bought the shares. Chaos paused. Whispers rippled. Justin had gone rogue, leveraging his exit package to seize controlling interest overnight. The raid faltered, officers retreating under confused orders. Justin reached Nicholas, hauling him up, hands trembling. You okay? Nicholas shoved him, coughing. What the? Your property. Temporarily. Justin's grin was feral, snowflakes catching in his lashes. To save it. For you, Mia. Released nearby, eyed them warily. Hail Mary, Blackwood, something like that. He turned to the crowd. Megaphone seized. Sterling is done here. The warehouse stays. Affordable housing. Artist lofts, your terms. Cheers deafened. But Nicholas pulled him aside. Into the warehouse's dim interior, exposed beams, murals of revolution. Why, after everything, Justin's facade crumbled. Because I can't lose you. The email's fakes, but I get why you ran. I was a bastard before you. Selfish. Scared. He stepped closer. Voice breaking. Love me anyway? Nicholas's resolve wavered. The pull magnetic. Prove it. No more games. Their kiss was snowmelt sweet. Bodies pressing in the cold sanctuary. Hands roamed urgent. Shedding layers. Justin's shirt unbuttoned to reveal gooseflesh. Nicholas's jeans pooling at ankles. Against a graffiti wall reading resist, they claimed each other. Justin dropping to knees, mouth hot and reverent, drawing moans that echoed like prayers. Nicholas reciprocated, fingers in blonde hair, worshipping the man who'd fallen so far. Climax shattered them, spent against crates, breaths mingling. I own nothing now, Justin whispered. Accept this. But dawn brought the counterstroke. Bored loyalists, tipped off, filed an injunction claiming fraud, demanding Justin's arrest. Cops swarmed again, this time with warrants. Justin went quietly, cuffs clicking, eyes locked on Nicholas. Fight for me. The arrest ignited fury. Free Justin trended alongside Save Our Soul. Queers and workers uniting in a rainbow tide. Nicholas bailed him out with crowd-funded millions. Their first public handhold outside the precinct. A statement. Electric. Yet the trial loomed. A spectacle of depositions and dirty laundry. Justin's exes testified. Vindictive tales of control. While Nicholas took the stand. Voice steady. He changed. For love. For us. Boardroom betrayals unraveled. The assistant confessed. Bribed by rivals. Evidence mounted. Justin's innocence. Sterling's rot. But the emotional toll carved deep. Justin's panic attacks in the safe house. Nicholas holding him through nights of, what if they win? One storm-lashed evening. As thunder rattled windows, Justin broke. I can't do this. Ruin you. He packed a bag. Eyes haunted. Nicholas blocked the door. Heart fracturing. Running? That's the old you. It's protecting. Justin's voice cracked. I love you too much to destroy you. The fight spilled raw. Accusations flying. Tears scalding. Nicholas grabbed his collar, slamming him against the wall. Not anger, but desperation. Stay. Fight. With me. Their clash turned carnal. Clothes torn in frenzy, nails raking backs, hips grinding with bruising need. Justin lifted him, legs wrapping, thrusts punishing and pleading. Don't let me go. I won't. Nicholas gasped, nails digging crescents. Release came cataclysmic, bodies shuddering in the lightning's flash, sealing a vow amid the ruin. The trial's climax arrived in a packed courthouse, February's gray light filtering through stained glass. Justin testified last, voice unflinching. I built walls to hide my heart. Nicholas tore them down. This city deserves better, transparent, inclusive. Like the love that saved me. The jury deliberated hours. Tension a noose. Verdict. Not guilty. Sterling dissolved. Assets seized for reparations, millions funneled to community trusts. Outside, confetti rained, activists, lovers, New Yorkers cheering. Nicholas pulled Justin into the throng, kiss public and defiant. We did it, but victory's afterglow faded fast. Justin's empire gone. He floundered, identity adrift. Who am I without the crown? He confessed one night, staring at the river from their new Brooklyn walk-up, Mia's old place, rechristened home. Nicholas cupped his face. Mine. Ours. Yet shadows lingered. A letter from Justin's father, disowning him anew. Disgrace to the name, gutted him, old wounds reopening. Nicholas planned a surprise. A road trip south, escaping winter's bite. They drove through Virginia's rolling hills, windows down, Springsteen's anthems blasting. In a smoky mountain cabin, isolation healed, lazy mornings tangled in flannel sheets, hikes where hands swung free, no hiding. You're free, Nicholas murmured one dusk, painting Justin's chest with lazy kisses. With you, Justin replied, pulling him atop. Lovemaking slow as honey, rocks building to symphony. Release a shared sigh under star-pricked skies. Back in New York, renewal bloomed. Justin consulted for nonprofits, voice lending weight to affordable housing bills. Nicholas expanded Save Our Soul into a network, queer-led initiatives weaving love into justice. But the past's echo struck Memorial Day, a gala at the rebuilt warehouse, now a cultural hub. Justin's ex, a venomous socialite, cornered him. He'll tire of the slum life. Billionaires don't slum it. Doubt seeded, but Nicholas overheard, confronting her with steel. He chose heart over gold. Try keeping up. That night, on the rooftop where it began, rain pattering soft, they danced to a busker's guitar. Scared? Justin asked, cheek to cheek. Terrified, Nicholas admitted. But alive. Summer unfurled in New York's humid embrace, the city exhaling after winter's war. The warehouse thrived, a mosaic of lofts and lounges, walls echoing with laughter and live sets, pride flags fluttering from fire escapes. Nicholas and Justin settled into rhythm. Mornings with coffee on the stoop, Mia crashing dinners with her latest flame, a tattooed poet who quoted Rumi over ribs. Their love, once a battlefield spark, deepened into hearthfire steady. Lazy Sundays tracing tattoos, Justin's new. A skyline heart on his ribcage, Nicholas's initials inked bold. Nights where words wove tighter than limbs. Yet cracks spiderwebbed unseen. Justin's consulting gigs paid bills. But envy gnawed. Old colleagues' whispers at events. Slumming with the activist? He masked it with charm. But Nicholas felt the drift. Longer hours, distracted glances at stock tickers. August heat wave brought the fracture. A high-profile developer, slick, silver-haired Victor Lang, approached Justin at a fundraiser. Come back to the game, Blackwood. We need your edge. Lead the revival. Justin's laugh was easy, but Nicholas, across the room nursing a gin, saw the flicker temptation's gleam. Later, in the cab home, he probed, what did Lang want? Ghosts. Justin evaded, hand on thigh a rote comfort. Their sex that night was perfunctory, mechanical thrusts, eyes averted, leaving Nicholas hollow. The betrayal brewed slow. Justin accepted a consult with Lang's firm. Temporary, bridge work, nights stretching late. Nicholas buried in campaigns, a push for queer youth shelters, but paranoia festered. Mia noticed. He's pulling away. Nikki. Talk. He did. Over rooftop wine. Am I enough? Without the billions. Justin's face crumpled. You're everything. This is survival. But his kiss rang false. And Nicholas slept alone. The axe fell in September. Headlines blared, Blackwood returns. Tycoon reclaims throne at Lang Developments. Nicholas found the press release on the kitchen counter. Coffee cold beside it. Justin walked in, suit pressed, eyes pleading. It's not what you signed. Nicholas's voice was ice. After everything. The quit. The trial lies. No. Justin advanced. Desperate. Lang cornered me. Threats to your grants. Mia's art co-op. Leverage. I was buying time. Bullshit. Pain lanced deep. Nicholas's fist connected with the wall. Knuckles splitting. You crave it. The power. Me? I'm the intermission. Justin's hand reached. Let me explain. Nicholas recoiled. Out. The door's slam reverberated. A city's worth of heartbreak. Weeks dissolved into siege. Nicholas channeled rage into work. Shelters funded, but sleep evaded. Nights scrolling old texts. Teach me how. Mia staged an intervention, dragging him to Coney Island boardwalk. Salt air sharp. He fucked up. But you love him. Fight dirty, win him back. Doubt ward with fire. Then, Intel, Lang's project, a waterfront megacomplex, evicting queer safe spaces. Nicholas crashed the groundbreaking, megaphone in hand, protesters at his back. Lang steals souls, Blackwood knows. Justin was there, hard hat under arm, face ashen amid the suits. Their eyes met across the dirt. Accusation. As cops advanced, Justin dropped the hat, wading through. Stop, this project's dead. Lang sputtered. You can't. I just did. Justin turned to Nicholas. Voice amplified. I quit. Again. For good. He stepped onto the bulldozer's track. Mike seized. New York isn't for sale. Not anymore. The crowd roared. Lang's team scattered. Nicholas approached. Wary. Truth. Justin hopped down. Dirt-streaked. Vulnerable. Truth. Lang had dirt, edited videos of us, to smear you as gold digger. He pulled a USB from his pocket, smashing it under heel. I chose you. Always. Nicholas's walls trembled. Prove it. Walk away. From all of it. I already have. Justin's hand extended, palm up offering surrender. They rebuilt in embers, therapy sessions in a village walk-in, unpacking daddy issues and trust scars. Weekends volunteering at the shelters. Justin's suits swapped for tool belts. Sweat equity literal. Lovemaking reignited, slow, sacred. In their bed-stewy brownstone. Now there's Justin on knees, eyes locked upward in devotion. Nicholas riding him at dawn. Sunlight gilding moans of forgiveness. Fall painted the city gold. Leaves crunching under tentative steps. At the warehouse's first anniversary gala, drag queens lip-syncing amid fairy lights. Justin took the stage, Nicholas beside. I was a king without a kingdom, he said, voice steady. Nicholas showed me thrones are bullshit. Real power, love, community. This, he dropped to one knee, not proposal, but pledge ring simple, silver band etched with skyline veins. Build with me, tears pricked. Nicholas pulled him up, kiss ceiling amid cheers. Always. Winter's End brought Mia's wedding, small, rooftop affair, her poet vowing amid snowflakes. Nicholas walked her down the aisle, Justin waiting as best man. I soft. Later, under stars, Justin whispered, "Our turn." Nicholas grinned. When the city's ready, spring bloomed defiant. Love Save Souls evolved into a foundation. Justin's savvy funding Nicholas's vision, queer havens, green blocks, histories preserved. They adopted a rescue mutt, walks through Prospect Park, hands entwined, no glances over shoulders. One June eve, on that fateful rooftop, rain gentle now, they stood wrapped in each other, city humming below. "We saved it," Nicholas murmured, head on Justin's shoulder. Justin kissed his temple. "No. You saved me." The skyline twinkled, a scent, a testament. In America's concrete jungle, love wasn't conquest, it was revolution. Human, flawed, eternal. And in their arms, souls entwined, New York breathed free.